Welcome back to the channel, US Rare Coins News, Top 1. Today we are looking at a coin that most people think is just pocket change, but in the right condition, it can quietly sit in your collection and still surprise you with real value. This is the United States of America Gold $1 2000 D, also known as the Sacagawea dollar, and here's the twist. Some of these coins have sold for far more than you'd ever expect from something that still shows up in everyday circulation. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes you're going to see what makes this coin special, the hidden details collectors hunt for, and the rare errors that can turn an ordinary dollar into something worth serious money. Now imagine this shot on screen, a slow close-up of the coin rotating under soft light, the golden color glowing, almost like real gold. Even though it isn't, this coin was first released in the year 2000, minted in Denver, which is what the small D mint mark stands for just below the date on the front. You see Sacagawea, the Native American woman who played a key role in the Lewis and Clark expedition, carrying her infant son on her back. Zoom in here, focus on the details of her face, the folds in her clothing, the calm expression that gives this coin a strong and historic presence. Flip the coin over and you'll see a soaring eagle surrounded by 17 stars, representing the states of the Union at the time of that famous expedition. It looks simple at first glance, but this design carries a powerful story of exploration, survival, and early American history. Now here's where things start to get interesting. When these coins were first released, the US Mint tried something new with the metal composition to give it that rich golden color, but because of this, some coins came out with unusual finishes, surface marks, and striking differences that collectors started noticing almost immediately. And that's where the hunt begins. Cut to a magnified close-up, show the surface of the coin under high detail. Some 2000 D Sacagawea dollars have what collectors call Cheerios reverse style details, where the eagle's tail feathers appear sharper and more detailed than usual. These were part of a special early release, and finding one today is like discovering a hidden upgrade in your coin collection. Now imagine you're going through a jar of old coins and suddenly you notice something slightly different about the feathers. That small detail could mean a big difference in value. But that's not the only thing to watch for. There are also striking errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, and even coins with unusual surface textures that make them stand out. Show a split screen here, one normal coin, one with a visible error. The difference might look small, but to collectors, it's everything. And here's the part most people don't realize: condition is king. A worn coin that's been in circulation for years might only be worth face value, but a coin that's been preserved in near-perfect condition can jump significantly in values. How a grading comparison, circulated versus mint state: those tiny scratches, the shine, the sharpness of the design, all of it matters. And then there's the thrill of auctions. Picture this, a rare variation of the 2000 D Sacagawea dollar appears in an online auction, collectors start bidding, and the price slowly climbs as people recognize what they're looking at. This is where ordinary coins become extraordinary. So what is this coin actually worth in everyday circulated condition? The 2000 D Sacagawea dollar is typically worth around $1 to $3 depending on its condition. In uncirculated or high-grade condition, it can reach around $10 to $50, and if you happen to find a rare variation like the enhanced tail feathers or a significant mint error, auction prices have reached into the hundreds of dollars, sometimes even more depending on rarity and demand. Now think about that for a second. A coin that many people ignore could be sitting in a drawer right now with hidden value. So here's a question for you: have you ever checked your coins closely enough to spot a rare detail like this, or do you already have a Sacagawea dollar in your collection waiting to be rediscovered? Drop your answer in the comments, because I'd love to know what you found. Top 2. Today we are looking at a coin that people once rejected so badly, it almost disappeared from everyday use, yet today, the right version of it can quietly sell for far more than $1. This is the United States of America Susan B. Anthony $1,979, and here's what most people don't realize. Hidden among millions of these coins are tiny differences that collectors chase like treasure, and some of those differences can seriously change the value. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes you're going to see how to spot the rare versions, what mistakes to look for, and why one small detail on the back of this coin can make all the difference. Now picture this on screen, a clean, sharp close-up of the coin slowly rotating under light. At first glance, it doesn't even look like a typical dollar coin. It's smaller, almost the size of a quarter, and that's actually one of the reasons people didn't like it when it first came out in 1979. The US Mint introduced this coin to replace the bulky Eisenhower dollar, hoping people would finally start using dollar coins in daily life, but instead, people got confused. They kept mixing it up with quarters, and the coin never really caught on. And yet, that failure is part of what makes it so interesting. Today, zoom in on the front. You'll see Susan B. Anthony, a powerful figure in American history. Known for her role in the women's rights movement, this was the first time a real woman appeared on a circulating U.S. coin, and that alone makes it historically important. Look closely at the details, her profile, the sharp lettering, the date 1979 sitting just below. Now flip it over in a smooth transition shot on the back. You'll see an eagle landing on the moon, a design borrowed from the Apollo 11 mission insignia. 13 stars above the eagle, representing the original colonists. It's a design that quietly connects early American history with space exploration. But here's where things get really interesting. Not all 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars are the same. Cut to a tight close-up of the mint mark area. Some coins from 1979 have what collectors call the wide rim or near date variety. In these coins, the date appears closer to the edge of the coin than usual. Now show a side-by-side comparison. Normal rim versus wide rim. It's a small detail, easy to miss, but once you see it, you can't unsee it, and that tiny difference is exactly what collectors look for, because the wide rim version is much harder to find. And just when you think that's the only thing to watch for, there's more. Let's talk about mint marks. The 1979 coins were produced in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but the San Francisco Mint released proof coins with a special S mint mark. And here's the twist. Some of those proof coins came with a clear, sharp S mint mark, while others have a more filled-in, blob-like appearance. Cut to a magnified shot of the mint mark. Collectors call these Type 1 and Type 2 mint marks. Type 2, with the clearer and more defined S, is much rarer and far more desirably so. Imagine finding one of those in a proof set you never paid much attention. Tot hats, the kind of discovery collectors dream about. And we're still not done. There are also error coins out there, off-center strikes, double dies, and surface anomalies that make certain pieces stand out even more. Show a quick montage of error examples. Slight doubling on letters, misaligned strikes. Each one tells a story of something going slightly wrong during production, and those mistakes can turn into value. Now here comes the part everyone waits for. What is this coin actually worth in regular circulated condition? Most 1979 Susan B. Anthony dollars are worth around $1 to $3 if you have a wide rim variety in nice condition. That can go up to around $10 to $30 depending on quality. Proof coins with the common mint mark usually range between $5 and $15, but if you have the Type 2 clear S mint mark in high grade, those can reach into the hundreds of dollars at auction. And rare error coins, depending on how unique they are, can also sell for significantly higher amounts. So that coin people once ignored could actually be a hidden collectible sitting in your home right now. Now I want to ask you something. Have you ever checked your 1979 coins closely enough to spot the wide rim or that rare mint marker? Maybe you've got one of these already and didn't even realize what to look for. Drop a comment and tell me what you found, or which coin you'd love to add to your collection. Top 3. Today we are looking at a coin that fooled millions of people into thinking it was just another ordinary dollar, yet some versions of it have quietly turned into collector favorites that can sell for far more than face value. This is the United States of America gold $1 2000 p, the Sacagawea dollar. From the very first year it was released in Philadelphia. And here's the surprising part. A few tiny details on this coin can completely change how much it's worth. Stay with me, because in this video you're going to learn how to spot the rare versions, the early design differences most people miss, and the specific features that collectors are willing to pay serious money for. Now imagine this opening shot, a slow cinematic pan across a handful of these golden-colored coins spilling onto a table, light reflecting off their surface. They look like gold, but they're not actually gold, and that alone made people curious when they first appeared back in the year 2000. The U.S. Mint introduced this coin to replace the unpopular paper dollar and encourage everyday use of coins instead, but something unexpected happened. People didn't use them as much as expected, and many ended up sitting in jars, drawers, and forgotten collections, which is exactly why finding a special one today feels like uncovering a hidden piece of history. Now bring the camera in close. Zoom into the front of the coin. You'll see Sacagawea, a young Native American woman carrying her infant son. Her expression is calm, focused, almost as if she's guiding you through history itself. The detail in her hair, the texture of the clothing, the softness of the design, it's all surprisingly elegant for a circulating coin. And just below the date, you'll notice the small P mint mark that tells you this coin was minted in Philadelphia. Flip the coin slowly, give viewers that satisfying transition in the reverse side. An eagle is captured mid-flight, surrounded by 17 stars. Those stars represent the states at the time of the Lewis and Clark expedition. It's not just a design, it's a story frozen in metal. But here's where things start to get exciting. Not all 2000 p Sacagawea dollars are the same. In fact, some of the earliest coins released had subtle design differences that most people never noticed. Cut to a magnified close-up of the eagle's tail feathers. This is where collectors focus their attention in certain early coins. The tail feathers show enhanced detail, sharper lines, more definition. Almost like a higher quality version of the design. These are often linked to what collectors call the Cheerios dollars. Yes, actual cereal boxes. Back in 2000, some of these coins were included in promotional Cheerios boxes, and those versions had this enhanced tail feather detail. Now imagine this scene: someone opening an old cereal box 20 years ago, not realizing they were holding a coin that collectors would later chase, and today, spotting that detail can make a huge difference. But wait. There's another layer. Let's talk about conditions. How a side-by-side shot here, one worn coin, one bright and uncirculated. The difference is obvious. A coin that's been used for years loses its shine, its sharpness, its appeal. But a coin that's been preserved carefully, that's where the value starts climbing. Collectors look for coins with strong luster, clean surfaces, and crisp details. Every tiny scratch matters. And then there are errors. Cut to a dramatic close-up of a coin with a slight misstrike. Some 2000 p coins have off-center strikes, die cracks, or unusual surface textures. These are mistakes from the minting process, and collectors love them because each error is unique. It's like owning a one-of-a-kind version of something millions of people have. Now imagine going through your coins late at night, checking each one carefully, and suddenly spotting something that doesn't look quite right. That moment, that realization, that's what makes coin collecting so addictive. And now we come to the question everyone's been waiting for: what is this coin actually worth in regular circulated condition? The 2000 p Sacagawea dollar is usually worth around $1 to $3 in uncirculated condition with strong detail and shine. It can range from around $10 to $40 depending on quality. But if you find one with the enhanced tail feathers, like the early promotional versions, those have sold for hundreds of dollars at auction, especially in high grades. And rare error coins can also reach into the hundreds depending on how unusual and well preserved they are. So the next time you see one of these coins, don't ignore it. Take a closer look, because the difference between an ordinary coin and a valuable one can come down to a detail most people would never notice. Now I want to hear from you. You already have a 2000 p Sacagawea dollar in your collection. Have you ever checked the tail feathers closely, or maybe you found an error coin without even realizing it? Drop your answer in the comments and tell me what you've discovered. Top 4. Today we are looking at a dollar coin that most people wouldn't even pick up twice, yet a few rare versions of it have quietly sold for way more than you'd expect from something that still shows up in everyday change. This is the United States of America Gold $1 2010 D, part of the Presidential Dollar series. And here's the twist: some of these coins hide their most important details on the edge, not even on the front or back. Stick with me, because in this video you're going to see what makes this coin special, the hidden features collectors hunt for, and the rare errors that can turn this simple dollar into something worth serious money. Now picture this opening shot: a smooth slow-motion drop of golden dollar coins onto a dark surface, the edges catching the light as they roll. Most people glance at these coins and move on, but collectors, they flip them, tilt them, and most importantly, they check the edgelets. Bring the camera in closely on the front of the 2010 D coin. You'll see the portrait of President Millard Fillmore. His name curves along the top, with the year 2010 and the mint mark D just below. Zoom in here, the details in the hair, the sharp lines of the portrait. It's clean, bold, and easy to recognize once you've seen it up close. Now flip the coin slowly in the reverse. You'll see the Statue of Liberty standing tall, a symbol that appears on all presidential dollar coins. Torch raised, crown shining. It's a design meant to unify the series. But here's where things take a turn. Unlike most coins, the date and inscriptions are not on the front or back, they're on the edge, and that's exactly where collectors start to get excited. Cut to an extreme close-up of the coin's edge rotating under light. You'll see inscriptions like the year, the mint mark, and the phrase E pluribus unum engraved along the side. But sometimes those details aren't there at all, and that's the moment everything changes. There are rare error coins known as missing edge lettering dollars. Imagine holding a coin that looks completely normal, until you check the edge and realize something is missing. That's not damage, that's a minting error, and collectors go crazy for it. No show a comparison, one coin with edge lettering, one completely blank. It's subtle, but once you know what to look for, it stands out instantly. And here's the exciting part: these errors happen because the edge lettering process is done separately from the main strike key, so if something goes wrong in that step, the coin leaves the mint incomplete, and those incomplete coins are exactly what collectors want. But don't stop there. There are also coins with doubled edge lettering, where the inscriptions appear twice, slightly offset. Imagine the edge text overlapping itself. It looks strange, almost like a glitch, and again, that kind of mistake can increase value significantly. Now let's talk about conditions: how a bright uncirculated coin next to a worn oni coin that's been in circulation loses its shine, its crisp edges, its visual appeal. But a coin in mint condition, sharp, clean, almost flawless, that's where collectors start paying attention. Every tiny detail matters: the shine, the smooth surface, the clarity of the design. And when you combine a high-grade coin with a rare error, that's when things get really interesting. Now imagine this scene: someone finds a 2010 dollar in their pocket change, flips it over casually, then checks the edge out of curiosity, and suddenly realizes it's blank. That moment turns an ordinary day into a collector's dream, and that's why this coin is more exciting than it first appears. Now let's talk about what it's actually worth. In regular circulated condition, the 2010 presidential dollar is usually worth around $1 to $3. In uncirculated condition with strong detail and luster, it can range from around $5 to $20 depending on quality. But if you find one with a missing edge lettering error, those have sold for around $50 to several $100s. Depending on condition and demand. And coins with doubled edge lettering or other unusual errors can also reach into the hundreds at auction. So the next time you come across one of these coins, don't just look at the front and back, check the edge, because that's where the real story is hiding. Now I want to ask you something: have you ever checked the edge of your coins before? Or do you have a presidential dollar sitting somewhere right now that you've never taken a closer look at? Drop your answer in the comments and tell me what you found. And if you enjoy discovering coins like this, where tiny details can turn into real value, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the next one, because there are more coins out there with hidden secrets, and the next one might already be in your pocket waiting to be discovered.